What's up guys, on today's episode we're going to be talking about the difference between a clear bra, like the one on the AMMO 964, and a vinyl wrap, like the one here on the Paul Miller Total race car, and figuring out which one is best for your particular car. That and more coming up on this episode of Drive and Protect.
The best way to understand the differences between these two types of paint coverings is to compare them based on 6 functional categories to help you decide which may be best for your car. First, we'll be comparing their thickness and durability, or in other words, their respective strength against impacts. Next, we're going to compare the film's material, or what each is made of and how those characteristics differ from one to the other. Number 3 is the film's weight. I want to know how much does a vinyl wrap weigh versus a clear bra, and how much does that increase the overall weight of the car. The fourth comparison will be their ability for customization. How many colors and finishes are offered in each material. Next, we're going to compare the application time and the maintenance of the film, or in other words, how long do you have to leave your car at the shop to get this installed, and once it is installed, how do you clean and maintain it properly? Lastly is the cost. What is the average price for vinyl versus a clear bra? All these questions will be answered in this episode and tallied in the chart below. But before we can go point by point in the chart, let's get some background info on both cars, which may help you determine why one film was chosen over the other for each respective car. The AMMO 964 is completely wrapped in Expel Ultimate. Every painted surface is protected because of the recent 6-month-long paint restoration where rust was removed and 3 layers of paint and 2 layers of clear coat applied at J&B Bodyworks in Mount Vernon, New York. Now a clear bra is, in fact, clear, which allows the beautiful beluga paint to be visible, and the bra itself is virtually undetectable. So my goal was to protect the new paint without altering its amazing color. To watch the full step-by-step restoration and 5-layer repaint, click the link above. Over here we have the Paul Miller Lamborghini in Total wrapped livery sitting at Speed Sport Tuning prior to the IMSA race at Lime Rock Park this weekend. The Lambo has a regulated 500 horsepower and weighs 2,600 pounds for a power-to-weight ratio of 5.2 horse per pound, and will be driven by Madison Snow and Brian Sellers. Each door is equipped with electronic lights for night racing and poster light boards to let the fans know what place each car is in their respective class, which makes it a lot of fun for spectators, especially with multiple classes on the track at one time. Rain lights, air jacks, massive diffuser, and this rear view radar camera are just a few of the goodies on the backside of these race cars. What I found particularly interesting is the camera's radar system shows the driver the closing rate of other cars coming up behind him and which side they're approaching his vehicle. Now, because these races are televised, some of the cars are equipped with cameras on the roof while others aren't, but each must have the same aerodynamics to avoid any advantages. So this black cone on the roof is actually a dummy camera that is swapped out for a real one without altering the vehicle's aero, should they be asked to film the race. So why did I tell you all this? Well, clearly it is a race car, and being a race car, it needs team logos in different colors and designs, so a vinyl wrap is really the only way to go. But is it right for your car? To give us all the facts to help make your decision, I'm chatting with David Plumley from David Designs in Atlanta, Georgia. He installs all vinyl wraps and bras for the Atlanta-based teams.
Now David, you are the vinyl wrap guru. In fact, you did this actual car, so you're the perfect person to ask. What's the difference between, let's say, the clear bra that's on the AMMO 964 and the wrap that's on this car here?
Well, when people put a clear bra or paint protection film or just a clear film, they're doing that because they like the car the way it is and they want to keep it that way. So they put the film on there as a protection against any kind of debris that might come off the road. Whereas when we come to a wrap, most of the time it's because the customer wants to change the look of the car. They want to change the color, they want to design. Sky's the limit when it comes to wrap.
Now, in terms of thickness, you have a bunch of materials here. What's the thickness difference between a clear bra and a vinyl wrap?
Clear bras, depending on the manufacturer, can be anywhere from 6 mil to 10 mil, whereas wrap films can be anywhere from 2 mil to 6. So the wrap film is a lot thinner than the paint protection film.
Now you were explaining, off camera before, like, hey, this is a good example. This is a piece of paper, printer paper. Now this is 3 mils, so it really goes 3 mils, and then 4 to 5 mils for a vinyl wrap.
It's about a 4.5 on that.
And then something, what did you say?
This is 6. That could be 6 or 6 to 10, depending on who the manufacturer is.
All right, so clear bra is clearly going to be thicker
yes.
than a vinyl wrap.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people believe all of these as protectants for a car. They think, oh, this is going to protect my car. I'm going to put it on there. I'm saving my car. And to a point that is true, but it doesn't have the durability of clear paint protection film. This is good for, like, you know, if you wash your car 100 times, you start getting those brush strokes. Well, this is going to protect your car from something that minor. You know, just washing it too rough, or it's got a lot of grit on it, or people rubbing by at a car show. This will do it. But I just want to show you as far as the durability between these two. This is a piece of wrap film, and I'm going to take a key and see, it's pretty easy. I can just put a key through it. Pretty easy. So
like a rock or something is just gonna kind of poke right through.
If a rock, now granted it's gonna have a, you know, the body of the car behind it, but if a rock was to hit that, it's very easily could hit your paint underneath.
Right.
Or then you come to a paint protection film, which is thicker, and it's a slightly different, well, not slightly different, it's a totally different product. And I try to do the same thing with it and take this key and poke it through. And it really takes a lot of force to go through that. You can see how much it's stretching.
Right.
So this offers a lot more durability. This is actually, you know, in racing, that's what, you know,
it's taking a lot of impact. It's like
takes a lot of impact.
absorbing the rocks.
Yeah, this, I don't trust this. I mean, it takes a little bit of impact, but it's nothing like this, nothing.
So in terms of material, you mentioned earlier that one is different. They're not the same thing.
No, they're not at all the same thing.
So what are they?
All right, well, with vinyl, the wrap, it's a polyvinyl chloride.
Okay.
Which is got more of a brittle aspect to it. I mean, they do have a lot of technology in this that allows it to stretch and wrap a car, but it is a lot more brittle than, as you saw when I was doing the key demonstration. The clear film is a polyurethane, and it has more of a rubber quality to it. It can stretch much further, kind of bounces back a lot more than the PVC.
Okay, so they're definitely different.
Definitely different.
Okay, so this being a race car, weight is wildly important for handling and speed and all those kind of race car things. How much does a vinyl wrap weigh on something like this?
Well, at the end of the season, a lot of times we pull the whole wrap, and information in race cars is always good. So we weighed it last year, and it was 6.2 pounds.
If we were to wrap this same similar car in a clear bra versus the vinyl wrap, so the vinyl wrap 6.2, what would a clear bra be? How much would that weigh?
Clear bra for this car would probably be about 9.5 pounds.
So roughly a 3-pound difference between the vinyl versus a clear bra.
Yes.
When it comes to customization, obviously vinyl wrap's the way to go, but what can you do with clear bra? How can you customize it?
Most people that get the paint protection film in their car, they just do the high impact areas. So that would be front bumper, the nose, where you're gonna have rocks thrown off another car. But then a lot of people don't wanna see that edge of film, or they really like their car a lot, and so they say, well, you know what, let's do the full hood, or let's do a full front fender. So some people have a paint protection film that comes all the way to the windshield and the door, so all of that's covered.
Right.
This car is extreme though. The entire car has been covered in paint protection film, so you really don't have to worry about much with this car when you're on the road.
Yes.
The other option that you can do is, this is obviously a glossy car, we wanted to keep that look, so it's got a clear film. But if you had a car that had a matte finish and you wanted to keep that matte finish, well then you can get a matte film, because if you had a matte car and you put this gloss on, it's not matte anymore.
Right.
So the other option is you can go to a matte paint protection film.
So this seems like there's a few options for clear bra, but when it comes to vinyl, you can pretty much do anything, right?
Absolutely, sky's the limit. We started out with vinyl that was already the color we wanted. So we had a roll of black, a roll of red, and we laid in the chrome wrap. Then we came back and put the Total logo on top of it. You can do it this way, or you can print it like the one we have over here.
Custom designed wraps like this one here are created on a computer and digitally printed out to match any car, any color, and any desired look that a graphic artist can create. This car happens to be my buddy Paul's GT4 wrapped in Porsche's RSR colors, but as you can see, he added a bit of dirty look over the design for a custom look and feel that is truly one of a kind.
Now, with respect to installing these films, what is the skill or the time required to do that? How long is it at your shop?
How long you be out with your baby?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so let's say if you're putting PPF film on this car, but we're not doing a full job, we're just gonna do impact areas, or maybe even just wanna do the front bumper. That's something that could be done in a day, but I always like my customers to leave it overnight. So if I come in the next morning, there was some little area that may be lifted, I would rather be able to give that attention before it hits the road, rather than go home that night and potentially get some dirt in this little area. I wanna have one last look at it.
That makes sense.
So it's about a day and a half you're without your car.
Now, how long does something like this take?
So a full wrap like this, it's probably gonna take about 4, 5, 6 days. It all depends on the size of the car, the complexity of the body. You can see this thing has a lot of cuts in it, louvers. Does the customer wanna do the door jams? The mirror's gonna have to come off. All of that is gonna play into the time.
Now, does either of these have like a DIY aspect? Like, can I do this at home?
We're kind of doing this to protect the car and make it look nice.
Right.
Well, within a lot of people, when they start doing this, they get a knife out and like, well, I got to trim here, and now you're
Even
trimming.
with pre-cuts? I know there's like a pre-cut kit that comes with
Well,
it.
there are some pre-cut kits that, you know, the adventurous do-it-yourselfer could probably do a paint protection.
A little section.
Yeah, they could do some paint protection film themselves, or maybe in front bumper they have some relief cuts to make it a little bit easier. Some guys would probably have the skill to do that, but you really need to consider that when you take on a project like this, and if something doesn't fit quite right, you're gonna be pulling a knife out. Well, now you're putting a knife onto your baby that you were trying to protect, and now you might be cutting the paint.
Sort of defeating the purpose.
Yeah, you're kind of defeating the purpose. It'd be better to call a pro.
So you may be asking yourself, if I choose one or the other, how do I maintain them from a detailing perspective, and what are the do's and don'ts of each? The general rule of thumb is to maintain clear bras and vinyl wraps as you would the paint. However, do not use any abrasives such as compounds and polishes, especially with a machine. Although some clear bras can hold up well to light polishing, it's best to simply wash, dry, and wax them as you would the paint, steering clear of the edges to avoid wax buildup. Some bras, like Expel Ultimate, have what's called self-healing characteristics that allow very, very light scratches to be removed with a heat gun. Now, much the same as clear bras, vinyl wraps can be washed and dried as if it was your regular paint. However, what I did learn from David is the polyvinyl chloride can be brittle, so moisturizing the wrap by waxing and sealing it regularly is highly recommended to keep the film flexible as it expands and contracts with temperature fluctuations. In the case of a full-blown race car or a weekend warrior, to remove rubber marks from the track, simply apply a bit of heat and use AMMO skin sealant on a microfiber towel and gently rub until the rubber peels off the bra or the wrap. Likewise, adding a layer of sealant to each film before you go to the track can actually ease the pain of removing the rubber after the race as well.
All right, now the ultimate question, the $64,000 question is how much does this cost? Like clear bra versus vinyl. I know that's a bit of a loaded question, but...
Well, if you were just doing a bumper on a car, depending on the car, you might be able to get the front bumper of your car, which is the most high impact area of a car, maybe $500-600. And depending on the car too, if you want to do a full paint protection film like this car has, it could be anywhere approaching $10,000, $5 to $10 grand, depending on that car. So it's expensive.
Yeah, and something like this, is it more expensive, less?
Well, wraps are always going to be pretty much full coverage, and usually you don't have a partial wrapped car. So yeah, again, we're talking. You could say if you had an MX-5, it's convertible, it's a race car, so you don't even have a roof on it. You could get your MX-5 wrapped. It's a small car, it's got a small footprint, $2,500.
Right, but something like this with all these louvers, it's just like
it's going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to get this car wrapped. Wow. Maybe even more. Like if you wanted this film right here is a lot more expensive, the chrome film, so that's going to make the cost go up. If you had the full car done in chrome, it's going to be expensive.
Like anything else, there's pros and cons to every decision. The vinyl wrap, you can completely change the color of your car. The clear bra, if you like the original color, you can just use it as protection. The cool part for both of them is, if you don't like it, you can simply remove them and start over. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at larry@ammonyc.com. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.